a.m. in the morning. I'm sorry, but you don't go after a cop, grab his gun through the window. I mean, who does something like that unless you're doing something wrong? It's just ridiculous behavior. Who does that? Who does that? You don't grab a... What do you think if you grab a gun of an officer, you're trying to hurt an officer, you're going to get your life taken from you. You betcha. Clear and simple. I would not be surprised. It's a possibility. But we do know that he was grabbing for the gun. He was going to shoot the gun. What do you do when you grab a gun from an officer? You're just going to take the gun. Oh, I just want to sell it at a pawn shop. It's a threat, and you're going to protect your life. You're going to save your life. But just when you think that things are going to simmer down just a little bit, no, there's always something that somebody's going to do. And I guess this filmmaker decides he wants to come out with another twist to this, and this has really aggravated a lot of different people. I mean, filmmakers, for a long time have even, Michael Moore has put out documentaries and things like that, whether you like him or you don't. There's one that I thought was as great, Michael Moore put out right before the election, showing that Trump was going to win. And I thought it was terrific. And I was so angry afterwards because I guess it backfired on him. People actually liked it. But anyways, this is a new deal. And the Ferguson market attorney Jay Kanzler argued that Pollux edited the video showing employees doing something else, throwing back a bag, and that no drug took place, that this was a bunch of BS. Again, Ferguson market's attorney. So we don't know. A lot of things could have taken place. I mean, if you're out at 1 in the morning, is either coming from a club. What are you doing out at 1 in the morning? I mean, seriously. I mean, is it just me? Or was there something going on? It just seemed a little seedy to me. But ultimately speaking, when you grab an officer's gun, that to me just solidifies in my mind that you're up to no good. Now, I, for one, I'm sorry that the boy lost his life. But again, what were you doing? Up to no good. And a lot of people should not be out at that hour anyways, put themselves in a vicarious situation, and sometimes you can end up in the wrong place at the wrong time and get in the crosshairs and crossfire, and that's happened to so many across the country where people just end up and these things go wrong, and you put yourself in that place where, gosh, what are you doing out? Just stay home. It's safer to be out. I mean, you shouldn't live in fear, but this neighborhood was not the safest neighborhood by any means where this market was. It was a pretty bad place. All right, moving on. Trump tweets on health care reform, and they're asking whether or not the Republicans, the good old GOP, are going to be able to save the day. Donald Trump on the Twitter sphere says Obamacare is imploding. It's a disaster, and 2017 will be the worst year yet. By far, Republicans will come together and save the day. The Trump's tweets come amid continued criticism, as you're well aware, from fellow Republicans in both chambers and the impending congressional budget offices. Scoring of the legislation perhaps as early as today, which is expected to show that billions of Americans would lose their coverage on the American Health Care Act. And we've heard Donald Trump say, maybe we should just let it implode around us because it really is doing just that. Just to show, ultimately, for those that are so critical of Trump doing what he's doing and the GOP suggesting that he's doing it. But what good is that going to do, ultimately, to just allow it to implode? And then some have speculated to say this, well, if he does that, what if it lingers, Obamacare, and actually stands to a certain degree, somewhat, at least people would still be reasonably insured still, even though it's a flawed system and ends up doing okay, but not phenomenally. Rather than having, something. So there's all these schools of thought out there on both sides of the aisle. If they can come together and they can make this affordable, they could make this more doable for people. And then the biggest thing is now is the big conversation is, what's the price tag going to be on this? How much more money is going to cost to make this, and what deals are being done with insurance companies and states to be able to roll out this plan, and how soon, how bumpy will it be? I mean, we've been very critical of the rollout of Obamacare, even with the website and all the misfires there and all the money that they spent. Will Republicans actually have egg on their face when it comes to this? And it's a lot of questions to be asked, because it's a huge system. It's a lot of people to deal with. It's a lot of red tape. It's a lot of stuff that has to be really thoughtfully, carefully, methodically gone over again, because, shoot, Obamacare, we know, is big time flawed, mainly because of the cost. The premiums ridiculous. We have an affiliate out there in Bullhead, Arizona, and the premiums out there, 90, 100%. Unbelievable. You know what I'm talking about, Arizona. Not good. But it's not just Arizona, but they're one of the highest in the country. And that's not the way that it was touted. But I really hope that they're very careful on signing anything. They have to get this approved, and they need to get the Congressional Budget Office's approval on this for this legislation. So we'll see what happens today. All we know is that White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer last week issued a preemptive strike on the CBO's analysis, saying that they were off by millions with Obamacare. So let's see how close they can bring this thing in. I mean, really, honestly, right now we're at their mercy. But we have both houses. House and Senate, we and there's division there on Republicans. It's not going to be a clear up and down vote at this juncture unless things are ironed out a little bit more level to work for every single American. And everybody deserves insurance. Everybody deserves it, I believe. But I do believe that people that can work need to work and get off our system. They're taking advantage of it. And that's the biggest thing with illegal immigration that I've said all along, that this drains our system and the trillions of dollars that are spent just for that. That in itself would make it so much easier to be able to afford many of these different programs, but the burden right now is just ridiculous. And that hasn't even really been addressed in any real meaningful way, the national debt, and that's got to be on the agenda somewhere, when and where and how. But that's going to have to be addressed in all these ambitious programs. But Trump, to his credit, has already saved our country billions of dollars in so many different ways on renegotiating contracts for the Air Force, for our Navy, for our Army, for all our armed services and contracts in Washington, and with budget projects and with these tariffs, in and out of our country, with GATT and NAFTA, and putting a stop to that, and making sure that countries pay their fair share too, so we're not the only ones paying fees to go into port. That's been an unfortunate thing, but I believe the money will be paid back, and there's already savings right now. But gosh, if that could be tackled within this administration's term, that would be a godsend, to know that we have some fiscal responsibility. And for those that, are fond of Bill Clinton with saying, he had a surplus when he was president, the numbers did show that. And if he wants to take credit, that's great. Many people attribute those successes largely to Reagan and his policies, but then they'll say, how could he do that with Reaganomics and all that crap? Life wasn't too bad, folks. Life was pretty decent, in my opinion. And man, if I could go back to the 80s, I would. Things were sweet. Things were more affordable. Things weren't too bad, were they? No. But it's amazing what 8 years, it's amazing what time spent with Democrats do to this country, the time that they put in and the things that they screw up with this liberal mentality that is killing our country. Not just killing jobs, but killing our kids with ideologies that seem to be, well, this an individual thing. Well, yes, we can be individuals, but how we serve our country and how we bring clarity to social issues, how people now are so confused they don't even know what bathroom to use anymore. Just the morality of the whole thing is really upsetting for me as an adult and living in this country to see how nothing is left to the imagination anymore. Everything is just front and center. Forget about foreplay anymore. It's just get to the punch of things. There's no innocence left. And there wasn't innocence more in my time that I remember growing up than there is now. This generation, bada bing, bada boom. They just want to get to the finish line immediately. And there doesn't seem to be, in my opinion, for people that have this satisfaction. You know, there's just more of this restlessness going on. There was a time where people really worked hard for everything they had. And now it seems like a lot of this new generation, they just want everything handed to them. And they don't know what a day's hard work is and earning it for yourself. A lot of parents have ended up spoiling their kids to no end. And now there's this big story that I read in the Washington Post the other day talking about how many that are in college right now getting ready for spring break, and they're going to be spending a lot of their college tuition on spring break. And the reason being is that they feel so confident about spending their spring break money is that they believe that they're going to have forgiveness on their debt because Obama said that he was going to do that. Well, Obama's no longer president. Forgiveness? Are you kidding me? Oh, wait a second. Let me call my credit card company up and let me see if there's forgiveness on that debt. Are you kidding me? If you went to college to get an education, that's your job to pay back. You know how many people would have loved to have, oh, yeah, we just forget it. It's okay. Yeah, no kidding. And then who does that follow back on? Yeah, our national debt. No wonder why that bridge has fallen apart. No wonder the water has got lead in it because we don't have the money to fix it anymore. Somebody, remember, folks, somebody always has to pay for it. And who that is you and I. Remember that. And our children. That's common sense, though. And that's something you'll get each and every day right here on For the People. That's why you like the show. By the way, if you like the show, share the show. Let them know about this radio station that you're listening to the program on, or forthepeopleshow.com. We'll be back with more right after this.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
For the People is on the air for you. Each day we strive to tell it to you straight, not watered down, so you can know what's going on each day. Our show is different from many of the others on air. We're not afraid of the PC police, and we explain our position, at the same time understanding the left's position and what we can do to further a conservative agenda for America. For the People is listener-supported and relies on listeners like you to help us get the word out. So, if you like what we do and want to help For the People, sign up today at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Your support allows us to report the news fearlessly and guarantees our survival on the air. As a thank you, we'll send you our monthly newsletter with commentary and money-saving tips. Can we count on your support? Thank you for helping America. To become a For the People member, log on to forthepeopleshow.com. Now, the internet is a big place, but 123 Ready TV has made it easy to start enjoying all of the current movies you enjoy and those movie classics. What if I told you that you could start streaming everything now and all the latest movies for just $19.99? And it's a one-time charge, not monthly. 123 Ready TV is a media app that you can have on your PC or your Android phone. You see, this app allows you to stream movies and TV shows, weather, and anything you already have